Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Axis Victory series. I'm your host, as always, TheBlueBadger, and today we are basically going to continue where we left off and start expanding Germany's borders. So, I first do want to apologize for the little month-long hiatus or so that I've kind of had here. I've just been rather swamped with schoolwork the past few weeks, is all. Said I resumed my classes back in January, so I've just been busy up until now, so yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Oh, one more thing too before I forget, another thing too that I did as well was I just went and did a complete overhaul of everything that I was doing, just make sure that the audio was running properly, increase the quality of the videos all through OBS, so everything should be coming in a little more clearly now, and hopefully the audio sounds a little better too this time than it did the last time around, so yeah. Let's just get right back into it then. So, yes. Oh, okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, to go here. Oop. Oil extraction. Oh. First thing that I want to try and do is try and get this event to go on. Be a little while though. And actually, hang on. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Just my cat's been jumping up on my lap here, so I just had to kind of toss him out a little bit. So, be a little while yet though. It won't really be until the end of the year, so I'm actually think I'm just gonna advance it all the way to the end. So, ooh, the war in China's begun. Yeah, I don't know why. There was a new update to the game, and it kind of just slowed down the mouse for some reason. I'm trying to figure that out at some point. Anschluss army shatters. You know, hang on one moment. I just kind of want to watch the fighting here a little bit. Appears that Japanese troops are on the offensive here then. Oh, hello. Recognition of Manchukuo. With the international failure to recognize the establishment of its Manchurian puppet, Japan requested that the German government, as a show of friendship, recognize the state of Manchukuo and establish formal diplomatic relations. Germany realized that such a move would result in serious political relations with nationalist China, who considers Manchukuo an outright violation of its national sovereignty. As such, German advisors in China would likely be expelled from the country, and German assistance or advice would no longer be welcome. On the other hand, relations with Japan would be greatly improved. Yeah. Recognize Manchukuo and recall Falkenhausen? I think that's how you say his name? I wish I could tell which one of these armies here is advancing. Well, attacking who, I mean. I'd guess probably China trying to retake Shanghai, but who knows. Okay. Shut that off for now. Sorry, economy looking. How fast is that advancing? 10. Okay, there we go. Forgot to repause it. Well, unpause it. Japan's definitely advancing. Huh, that's good. Facility of Atomic Research is finished. Haven't researched one more. I'm actually gonna postpone that project for a later date. Let's see here. Alright. Most of the stuff appears to be a little later yet. I'll just go with the next form of naval marines. Oh, didn't realize another one was already there. What about naval doctrines? Oh, yeah, do task force. Definitely help with the Navy as we invade England. And that'll happen, like, obviously, at a later time once the war officially begins. Pan incident. Memory serves, that was the incident where, like, Japanese fighters attacked, like, a merchant ship of some sort in one of the rivers in China. Definitely didn't help with tensions. I want to take a look at what's going on here again. Beijing has fallen. Jeez. The AI controlling China has like no sense of defensive planning, it would seem. And Japanese troops are just walking across China. Well, I might be speaking too soon. I've seen some Let's Plays of this game where Chinese are able to counter the Japanese invasion and actually beat them all the way back into Korea. Oh, another amphibious landing in the south. One thing about this though too is like it's actually quite amazing how the Japanese were able to make such advances into China. I mean, granted the Chinese were having a civil war at the time, but it's just amazing how such a small army they were able to conquer so much of it. And it wouldn't seem that they tried suing for peace. That's usually what happens, they never surrender. Looks like they destroyed some dams, so it may or may not slow them down, who knows. Turn the fog back off again. I'll probably come back there at some other point. Actually, I'm just gonna jump over that way. Probably do that for the most part, considering how laggy the mouse is at the moment. So, won't be for about another month until those trucks are completed. Move these troops down there. Maybe that's the reason why it hasn't started yet. It's that for the Anschluss to happen, there needs to be some sort of trigger, and usually that trigger is like having troops stationed along the entire border. Well, maybe. Oh, Nanjing massacre. Why am I doing that? Hang on. Yeah, it fell. Yeah, that's definitely not one of the brightest points of the war. I don't even know what to say about that hasn't been said, but just barbaric what happened there. Decision ready yet? Nope, not yet. Ah, finally something. Italy signs the Pact of Steel. Ambassador at large Joachim von Ribbentrop has successfully concluded negotiations with Count Chiano, and Italy no longer blocks our claim to Austria. This opens new strategic options and the Strasser front. Finally, some good news. Well, should probably get that event pop up sometime in the next month or so. Intelligence finally gonna increase there. Alright. Eventually. Just need to wait for that coup to happen there. China. Nothing. End up in that same way for like the past, well, like 15 minutes or so. I don't know. Let's see, we're getting close to done with upgrading our interceptors here. Good. Ah, good. This is the exact thing I was looking for. Coup d'etat in Austria. Chancellor says in court requests German intervention. The coup has recently happened in Austria. The political situation looks very unstable in this country, and it might be the right time for us to make our move to finally succeed in the Anschluss. We have several ways to achieve this. We can invade Austria and benefit from the troubled political situation to annex the country. We can also use diplomatic means to convince the Austrian government to join the German Reich by sending a formal demand for our claims or even propose an alliance. Finally, we could decide to not move and take the risk to never achieve the Anschluss. History is yours to make. Well, we're trying to create a world what the Anschluss would do, so I'm gonna try that. Military lines. So, perfect. They have accepted annexation into the Reich. Now we can officially do that event. The Anschluss of Austria proclaimed. Demands for the union of Austria and Germany increased after Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. In February of 1938, Hitler invited Kurt von Schönsick, the Austrian Chancellor, to meet him in the Berchtesgaden. Hitler demanded concessions for the Austrian Nazi Party. Schönsick refused, and on March 9, 1938, the Austrian Chancellor announced plebiscite on the independence of Austria. Adolf Hitler took this as an opportunity to take action against the Austrian state. Schönsick was present to resign. The National Socialist, Arthur says in court, took over the chancellorship and formed a new government. The Austrian National Socialists took power in Austria. On the morning of March 12, 1938, troops from the German Wehrmacht and the SS crossed the German-Austrian border. On March 13, 1938, Hitler announced in Linz the legislation on the Anschluss, annexation, of Austria into the German Reich. Our coup in Austria pays dividends. And we get a lot of leaders. and a good increase to the amount of stuff that we get then too. Gives us an opportunity to recruit more stuff, but I'll wait until after that's done. But at any rate, our next step then obviously is to demand the Sudetenland, so kind of have to do a similar situation and move troops all along the Czech border here. Move them there, and there as well. That should do it. So, yeah, we've officially incorporated Austria into the Reich, which will be one of many places. Oh, no, not yet. For a moment there, I thought that was ready. Ah, good. Time to resume the recruitment of airborne units. Start that project. Hang on. I'm going to cancel these projects here. One unfortunate thing about the annexation of Austria is that you also get what they were building in there too. Actually, I'll keep that one. That one's pretty much done already. Okay. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, I'll increase the length of time, get 3 productions on that. Never have too few aircraft. Yeah, that's definitely going much faster now. Panzers down there. I think that might be one of the areas too. Ooh, wrong button. One of the areas I need to have units in order to get the Treaty of Munich signed. Well, the ordinary. Ah, good. That factory is built. Well, actually, let's go and check the war in China to see if anything's different. Looks like the Japanese been pushed back a little bit here, but other than that, nothing too serious. Let's see if we can't upgrade our infantry a little bit. 2 days here. Yeah, that'll work. And that should be done in about a month, actually. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it'd be a little more than that. Okay. Well, at any rate, I'm going to advance until the Treaty of Munich event happens. Okay, so after a little bit of waiting, the Treaty of Munich event finally popped up. During the summer of 1938, pro-Nazi elements among the Czech Germans demanded the right to secede from Czechoslovakia, a move that created enormous tensions between Germany and Czechoslovakia. Hitler, using the minority sentiments in the Sudetenland, began propagandizing about Czech atrocities against ethnic Germans in an effort to blame them for future conflict on the Czech government. At the same time as German troops infiltrated the Bohemian borderlands, Hitler agreed to host peace conferences in Munich. Hitler, Chamberlain, Daladier, and Mussolini met and agreed that Hitler should have the Sudetenland of Czechoslovakia. The Czechs, who were not represented at the meeting, realized that their own alliances were deserting them, and under pressure from the French and British, they were forced to surrender the Sudetenland to Germany. Hitler assured those at the meeting that this was the extent of his ambitions for expansion. Chamberlain returned to England with a piece of paper signed by Hitler proclaiming peace in our time. Peace in our time. It's quite the joke. Treaty of Munich, Sudetenland to Germany. And it's the same thing. National Sun changed by negative 10%, plus 100 manpower, and our move towards Hawk Lobby. Oh! Yeah, forgot to mention that there's also a thing here that goes about this. One nice feature, actually. I'll keep quiet so you can hear it.
Waffenlosigkeit angeboten, solange es irgendwie ging. Nachdem man das ablehnte, hab ich allein dann keinen Heiden Entschluss mehr gefasst. Jetzt bin ich Nationalsozialist und alter deutscher Freisoldat. Wenn Sie...
They must have changed it, because normally they'd also have an English translation going along with it.
I had spent
Oh, there it
the
goes.
last 5 years, and the German people now must know what the purpose of that was. I told my friend Goering, create an air force which will protect Germany against any force and any attack in the world. Wir haben uns die beste Luftabwehr geschaffen und die beste Tankabwehr, die es in der Welt gibt. Es gibt
That's not gonna work.
the best tanks and the best anti-aircraft in the world. Diesen 5 Jahren nun gearbeitet worden, Tag und Nacht. During these 5 years, we worked day and night. Ich werde darauf noch zu sprechen kommen. Ich habe in diesen Jahren wirklich eine praktische Friedenspolitik betrieben. Ich bin an alle die scheinbar unmöglichen Probleme herangegangen, mit dem festen Willen, wenn irgend anfing, die friedlich zu lösen, selbst auf die Gefahr mehr oder weniger schwerer deutscher Verzichte hin. Ich bin selbst Frontsoldat und weiß, wie schwer der Krieg ist. Ich wollte dem deutschen Volk das ersparen. Nevertheless, I've made every effort to carry on the peace policies of my former years. I myself am a front soldier and I know what war is.
But yeah, it's just a nice little feature, like it includes those for a few of the events that happen. That's naval invasion complete. Hang on. Put that back down a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if we can sort of that. Start researching some terrain equipment. The next step here with them to be the annex the Bohemia region of Czechoslovakia outright. Should happen some point later on. Yeah, Germany's definitely increased its borders since we started this. Speaking of increased borders, let's check over here. A little bit of advancements from both sides, actually. I know that was gone. Means they're surrounded. Alright. Let's see. Almost done. Yeah, as soon as this is researched, I'm definitely going to have to recruit 2 airborne units as soon as possible. So, while we're waiting here, I'll just explain the basic plan that I have in store. Basically, once we invade Poland and go here, my plan is to immediately then strike to the west. Try and take them out as soon as possible. Let's see here. Yeah, let's improve our fighters too while we're at it. Increase stuff to other needs at the moment. There we are. That's done. Let's see. Let's improve our anti-air. And then, of course, as I stated before, I definitely need to get airborne units. I mean, I don't have the technology. Top priorities. Actually, hang on. Don't think I really need that many. Yeah. 3 should be enough. After their own negotiations ended with a satisfactory agreement, Czechoslovakia and Hungary have officially asked for assistance of Germany and Italy to obliterate their border conflict and declared in advance that they would abide the results. We shall support Hungary. About a month or so we should, I mean not a month, a few months actually, should get something about ending Czechoslovakia upright. December. Yeah, that should be fine. Stuff needs to be deployed yet. I'll wait a little while yet before I decide to do anything there. Alright. I'm gonna wait until the Czechoslovakia event comes up, which should happen shortly. Ah, there we are. Alright, and Czechoslovakia. The end of Czechoslovakia. After the swallowing of the Sudetenland, Hitler used a small group of Slovakian patriots around Tyso, more or less forcing them to proclaim an independent Slovakia. At the same time, German troops started to move across the Czechoslovakian border on the pretext of protecting the Slavic people. Swiftly demanding the Czech president to come to Germany to discuss the recent Czech problems, Hitler managed to isolate and threaten the Czech leader into submission. A few days later, the German army had full control of the former Czechoslovakia. Right, so we have two options here. We can either partition the country with Hungary or still isolate Slovakia. And I'm gonna go with that option. Alright. Yeah, that's the same thing. So, yeah, now we have all of Bohemia. The puppet Slovakia. Formerly independent Slovakia was a de facto vassal of Germany, although a new country was recognized by 25 states, among them Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. The government the government of Prime Minister Josef Tisos, a Catholic priest, followed a conservative authoritarian policy under close supervision from Berlin. So, there we have it. It is the beginning of 1939, and we have basically annexed not only Austria, but a fair-sized portion of Czechoslovakia as well. So, obviously, that leads us to our next target here, which of course will be none other than Poland. But I think I'll save that for the next time, though, because well, after that will be the start of the war. So we'll definitely have that to look forward to. I know I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun because once that starts, we'll get to the main event, where there will be pretty much non-stop action. On all fronts, and soon all of Europe will fall under the might of the Wehrmacht. So, with that being said, I guess I'll see you guys next time when we will officially launch the invasion of Poland. So, like, favorite, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.